Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching Phonecast. This is episode 87, and we are in patch 6.2.3. I am your Warlock host, Belle. You guys did hear me interrupt him, because if I don't, then I'm never going to be able to start the show. We have a lot to talk about tonight. It's actually going to be a jam-packed episode. Lightsabers in game for a Star Wars tribute. Digital Deluxe special, another wave of bands just in time for the holiday season. And we got an in-depth Legion PvP preview, walkthrough, images, the whole nine. So make sure you guys stay right here.
World of Warcraft trade chat. Troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the Phonecast Podcast. These are their stories.
Welcome back. Nope. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. We are without Frysa the Mage this evening, but that's quite all right because we have these other fine people, specimens, men, I don't really know what the fuck they are, but they're here, and that's all that matters. I did bring the Death Knight who's trying to be an Iron Man Lycan.
I'm sorry, who are you people again? It's been quite a while. Yes, my Iron Man. Well, first of all, I have to admit that Tough Meat is dead. I got my level 22 Hunter.
Did you say his name is what?
His name was Tough Meat. It was a Tauren Hunter. Iron Man Tough Meat. Iron Man Tauren. Do you get that? Do we have to draw? I mean, I could draw pictures for you if you want.
It's been a really, really long day. Sounds good.
No, and yeah, I forgot that growl was a thing on your pet. For some reason, I had turned it off, and I pulled like 3 or 4 people, and he's dead. But no, I'm not leveling an Iron Man yet. I'm gonna start with a Feral Druid as PvP.
Don't level a hunter because Hots learned that the hard way.
The hard way. From Brooklyn.
That was really awful. I've been watching a lot of old Louisiana movies, so that just happened. That was really. I don't know how to transition out of this one. I know. Parachuting down. Somebody pull me out of the lake. Help. Yeah, he learned the hard way not to use hunters because the pets pulled all of the things and he died.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, too, is I am going to do a PvP Hunter. I'm not going to stream my PvP Hunter or PvP Iron Man, but yeah, I got to get back on her. Stone's already starting to harass me because my last one's dead, so soon.
Yeah, I don't have...
Rookies.
I got to get back on it.
I did also bring the shaman who started selling bread in Stormwind, Huge Bloke.
I have little to no idea what you're referencing.
I was in the bathroom when I did the show stuff early because we're going to see Star Wars. So I was like, this sounds like it's a thing. Maybe he does sell bread in Stormwind.
Are you trying to?
I sell lots of things, but bread ain't one of them.
Do you have excess yeast that we don't know about?
No, I think it was an alludement to the fact that he told his boss to fuck off. I think.
That sounds about right.
I wouldn't do something like that. Not at this time of year.
He told his boss to fuck off. Am I allowed to say that? The wife knows, right? I didn't get you in trouble.
Well, she fucking does now, doesn't she?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was the whole of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of taking your shit, so peace out, bitches. I'm out.
I already did my Christmas shopping, so I'm out of here.
Not in those words, but I'm not allowed to say the ones that I used. Yeah, it's been a good week.
Well, screw the bread, just become Topper McNabb.
I mean, bread and
That's what I
Stormwind,
was thinking.
the creepy kids, the whole nine.
So now I've got a bit more free time to WoW and stuff, so I'm kind of happy.
No.
I'm poor, but I'm happy.
Except you make promises to WoW with people and then you never show up. Last night.
Oh, this old chestnut.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back to this later, folks.
I leveled him up to 60-something just to level with you, and you just totally blew me off.
Oh.
You got to get to level 70.
He sounds like a jilted girlfriend, like you tried to get halfway in his pants and not all the way in.
I know, that knife's like right here.
A little bitter about that.
This is coming from the guy that doesn't answer PMs in game until like 4 days later.
I know, he's the worst at it, literally. He doesn't answer any messages until 3 hours later.
I'm totally okay with them making the fucking BattleNet thing and run in the background, and then you catch the whispers there, because that's half the time that's where I catch all my whispers. It's like, oh, that was like 8 hours ago. Sorry.
The only time I ignore stuff is if I'm in the middle of like earlier I was healing and I literally cannot stop what I'm doing to answer, but I'm pretty good about the in-game stuff. It's the out-of-game stuff that I might not catch. But I did also bring the Boomkin who rolled a DK and probably has a pretty big headache from mashing the keyboard buttons with his forehead. Hots for shots.
Yeah, so what's
the name of your DK? AIDS for AIDS or something?
It was gonna be Blades for AIDS, but I didn't catch I didn't make the new tune to change the name when you're transferring server kind of thing, and now it's Dots for Rots.
That was horrible. That's the worst name I've ever heard of in my life.
It'll change again eventually because I'm gonna re-roll it to.
I expect better
Morgan.
from you.
Where did that? It came from the admin chat like months ago.
Guys, my admins, please, can you not?
Yeah, I want to say it was
Dots for
Aja.
rots?
Dots for Rots, yes. But your husband's the one that gave me the idea for Blades for AIDS, and it ironically, if
I
a
wouldn't know
GM
what
were
he's like
to,
either. He's not even a real WoWer. He hasn't WoWed in like a month.
that's pretty true. But
Anybody that doesn't log in a month, I call them not real WoWers because they're fake to me.
the Blades for AIDS thing, it's ironic because of a GM's like, hey, we reported your name, and be like, that's bullshit because it's Blades full raids. I'm just saying, like, you're reading this completely wrong.
Well,
Nice attempt at a safety net there.
Yeah, it's.
little AIDS among friends, right?
I mean,
Certain
I'm not,
circles,
and
you know.
I can use Of the Nightfall title, and it makes it so much better.
That's
No.
That's fair.
No.
He's a terrible human being, people. I don't
Christmas
even
time,
know
not
why we're
disease
friends with
sharing
him.
time.
I don't even know why. Well, we do have lots on the agenda. Let's talk about some holiday sales going on. By the time you get this, it's still in time for Christmas for those that celebrate it, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or whatever your get down is, whatever your religious
Festivus.
deal is. Yeah, the Feliz Navidad. See, I'm multicultural. I know what's
Festivus for
going
the
on.
rest of us.
The Blizzard Gear Store, 10% off. Yay! So, unfortunately, the cutoff time was the 18th for you to be able to get it by Christmas, but why not give yourself the gift of late Blizzard gear? Or, get it for a family member, just be like, hey, by the way, it's on the way. 10% off is the deal. I don't know if that's restricted from any certain items, but I just know it said store-wide. As of this morning when I pulled the information for the news. World of Warcraft is on sale for $5. WOD is on sale for $12.49.
$6.95 if you're Australian, or $14.95.
Right. So if you give the gift of WoW this holiday season, really show people how much you care by giving them the gift of instant
Addiction.
virginity and no life. I mean, really, give that gift to people today. And also, Legion is $50, so Legion gives you a level 100 boost. That's always amazing. The digital deluxe items for Warlords of Draenor. This was obviously those aren't. I think they limit it, right? Well, they're allowing for $20 you can buy the items for the digital deluxe for Warlords of Draenor. So you get the Dread Raven mount, the Dread Hatchling, the Hearthstone card pack, StarCraft 2 portraits, and the D3 Warsong pennant for Diablo 3. So $20 and you get the crap that you could have bought if you would have purchased the digital for Warlords of Draenor, which is I think that's pretty sweet. And select mounts and pets are still half off at the store. A lot of pets are only $5. So get in there, buy some shit, give some stuff away. Give something to your grandma. Maybe your grandma wants a World of Warcraft pet,
I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah, Grandma, have a
Vikings
great
mom
Raven mount.
does your mom still play?
She does.
Yeah, there you
Well, off and on.
She's a
But-
lovely woman. I
There
love
you go, man. There's Christmas all sorted for you.
Oh no, that's okay. Now I actually got a little KT from one of my good friends, my Kohai, Sam's son, Bell's son. Sorry, I used your real name.
I mean, now everybody knows my slave name.
Well,
Damn it.
the only person that hears that is Hots in the other room, but we're not going into that.
Ooh.
Special time on weekend.
We like to air our dirty laundry here on the show, and me and the husband the other day had really loud domestics, and everybody in this house, it was a great fight.
It was
Yeah.
like yesterday, and I was just like, Whatever. Good
Yeah,
morning.
and then people that didn't hear it normally, because we don't like argue and stuff in front of like our children. Like we don't fight very often. Like, I mean that's a lie.
Not
But
like good, legitimate.
yeah, we really
like,
don't. It was over something stupid. It was over the dog peeing on the carpet. But yeah, I was pretty. Cody heard, or excuse me, Hot.
See, now that's now.
He heard my full name and my husband's full name because when we're mad at each other, we use our real names. So that's how you know we're fighting is when we use our real names. It was pretty funny. Winter Veil, I wanted to make sure that I clarified a few things. So I heard a lot of rumblings in the community and in the trade chat over confusion. Grumpus, the mount, does not drop from Grumpus. The mount drops from the savage gifts that you use, that you buy from the little, very angry little goblin who's, when you click on her, she's not very Merry Christmassy at all. She's like, what do you want? She's very rude. But she sells them to you for the
That
Merry...
was scarily accurate.
I know. She literally, I was very upset at her for being mean to me.
Almost as good as the Erica.
I know that.
That was about a year ago. Can you do that again?
No, but I'm never going to be able to top that ever. She'll sell you the Savage gift for the 5 Merriman supplies that you get from the dailies. So, just to recap, that's where you get it from. You do not get it by killing Grumpus the Mount or Grumpus the person in Frostfire Ridge. That only happens. I guess I should have turned my phone notifications off. So a lot of people think that they physically try to loot Grumpus, and all you get's like some weird elk bone or some bullshit that you get from the big fat guy. And
you killed Santa?
Aja brought up a good point to me yesterday. So we were trying to do these dailies in our level 3 garrisons. I'm trying to do it on all my other alts that are all healers, and trying to kill these little grumplings as a healer is just bad business. So she brought up a good point. You can't have access to these dailies unless you have a level 3 garrison. The point is, they said specifically garrison's going to be voluntary. You don't have to do your garrison. You don't have to do anything in your garrison. You could stand outside your fucking garrison while everybody else is inside their garrison. It's completely optional, I believe was the exact words that were used. Funny when you come to find out that it is in fact not optional and that you have to have a level 3 to be able to do the dailies. Unless there's another way that I don't know of. We did check Wowhead because they're oh so right about everything all the time. What, Hots?
I mean, it's still optional.
Yes, but it's barring people from doing holiday events for those dailies if they don't have a free gear.
Or
the dailies
or Tanan Jungle.
Yeah, but that's the shipyard. But I guess that has something to do with garrison.
I think it's crappy that they tell you one thing and do another. I mean, I have level 3s on almost all my tunes except my priest, so it doesn't really affect me, but it affects a lot of people.
You have to look at the definition of optional very loosely whenever it's coming from this, and I'm literally being the red herring to this.
I'm sorry,
debate,
I didn't argue. CEO Hots of Blizzard Entertainment.
No, I'm just.
I'm confused. Hold on.
I'm being the red herring here. It's you don't have to have the.
Being a tampon. That's what you're.
Yeah,
being a red herring.
I mean something like that, but it's you don't have to do the dailies for any of the achievements. You don't have to. You can get summoned. What?
Oh,
not for Merrymaker, not for the mount.
You don't have to do it for Merrymaker.
And then you don't have to do Tanan Jungle to get into Hellfire Citadel. You can get summoned straight into it.
Crappy though. When you tell people optional, you mean optional for half your gameplay then? If that's what we're saying optional was, right?
Hey Hots,
yes.
You've got some brown shit.
No, it's just like,
oh damn.
I agree that it's shitty. I'm just saying that's how they're gonna get away with it. I mean, if you're gonna approach someone about it, then they can either be like, you know what, you're right, let me fix this for you, or they're gonna play the defense.
I'm just saying, Aja said something to me. I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. That's kind of crappy. Now, the last half of this complaint before I move on is I'm a little frustrated because I'm on all my healers, and I don't have DPS specs. I don't like playing DPS unless it's on my Warlock, which is why all my other alts are healers. So I go into the air of Frostfire Ridge and I shout, hey, who's already killing grumplings? Can you group up with me and help me? I'll totally heal you. I'm not trying to lurch. I just need to help killing shit. 20, 30 people in the zone, not one person responded to me even acknowledged my existence, literally. So it literally took me an hour to do all of these on my healers because I kept dying and I wasn't DPSing enough. I don't have DPS specs on these guys because I don't play them. hot seeing me play my boomkin. It's awful because I don't DPS on I don't DPS on other tunes. If I'm going to play an alt, they're usually healers because I don't like DPSing on not my warlock. So for those of you who are doing quests and it takes you 5 seconds to invite and help somebody, please don't be a fucking dick. Literally. And if you were one of the people that were requesting with me, fuck off because that wasn't cool at all. Anyway.
It's too bad you don't have a way to get a hold of people like outside the game that play the game,
That's
you know,
what
like something that you could only use like 160 some characters just to kind
I
of
felt
put it
bad
out there.
because I had like 6 tunes and I was going to need help on all 6 tunes and I really felt terrible. I didn't want anybody to be like obligated to have to do this crap with me. So
I'd like to say that I feel your pain, but as soon as I got the mount, I stopped doing it, so I don't feel your pain anymore.
Oh, you got the Grumpling mount? Yay! Yay! That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I made sure that I did it every day, and that was the intention. Like every
And
other
you got it
holiday,
out of the Savage gifts, right?
Yeah, and I was going to go through until I got it. And the very second that I got it, I'm like, right, we're done here. Quit that quest. Awesome. Fuck you, not doing it on anymore.
Yeah, but that's pretty legit, though. Yay, grats. That's cool.
Finally, a mount Bloke has before everyone else here.
I got the pet, but, I mean, no.
Well, you got that moose yet?
Sorry, have I got the moose yet?
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
These people that I used to do a podcast with, they...
I know. Me too. I that's the one I really love.
And then the last on the Christmas stuff, I don't know if anybody noticed, but the Iron Reaver had a Santa hat on. I thought it was pretty hysterical. I was quite happy with that Santa hat. And then when you kill him, the Santa hat falls off. It's
I saw it in Raid last night. I was like, oh, what is that?
It's it was really random. Like, to me, the Iron Reaver was kind of random, but, who's
From what I heard on Christmas Day, if you go back into Siege of Orgrimmar, the third to last boss, why can't I think of his name? The dude in the iron suit that throws the... Siegecrafter, that one. He dresses up as Santa.
I'm sorry, who was the elitist here in this scenario?
I killed him. I didn't need to know his name. I just killed him.
Where is this place? Because I never heard of Siege of Orgrimmar.
Siege of Orgrimmar? S-O-O?
Yeah, where that Gary dude hangs out.
It might be Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
I've heard of
Probably
Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, whatever. But anyways,
people and your stupid
he dresses up. Exactly. He dresses up as Santa, and he throws presents instead of chainsaws and all that stuff.
I don't
if you want to
believe
go
that's true at all.
I'm
gonna need you.
That's just from what I heard. I'll try to confirm it, but
I mean, I'm gonna need you to confirm this. Stormwind guards, blue lightsabers, org, red. Well, they're orange, but they look red. It's pretty fucking sweet. Little ode to the nerd there. I think that just goes to show you all the nerds at Blizzard because they're literally like lightsabers for everybody. That's how we're gonna celebrate. Yeah, that's pretty.
I was all excited.
We were in Walmart earlier. I was gonna try to find a stormtrooper mask to take to the movie tonight, and then I realized that it's not movie quality. So I'm like, I'm not taking this shit with me. But we were.
Do you want to borrow mine? I mean, it's a little bit buried back there.
No, but I need that. And we were lightsabering in the store, and apparently that's inappropriate for adults to be doing that. Rude. I thought that's what they put them there for, but apparently it's not.
Apparently not.
I mean, apparently it's not okay to bang your sticks together while in public.
Whoa.
That's what you were doing.
After dark podcast.
Yeah, that's definitely awkward. Also, this holiday season, surprise your friend or loved one with a brand new freaking game ban because that's what happened. You want to know how Blizzard celebrates the holidays? They do round 2 of the ban wave. So if your friends suddenly disappeared, that's where they went. They're going to spread some holiday cheer to all the cheaters who are botting and using third-party applications to control their characters that they shouldn't be using. Now, here's what's different for me here. So we did it the first time. Everybody was like, whoa. The fact that there was even people to ban a second time is fucking astounding that people are that dumb. It's literally mind-blowing. If you were one of the people that got caught up in this recent ban, you're a fucking idiot. That's all I have to say.
There's still some debate on
don't tell me. I don't want to hear
started...
that. Your friend's a liar. Your friend's a liar.
No,
because
I never said that.
I checked on the forums, and this was from the last ban of botters. This is not old botters. This is from the date of the last ban.
So the people who were botting before him?
Yeah. So
okay.
Your friend is inaccurate.
So because someone else in my guild got banned, and he was
They
one of our raiders.
They were old bots.
Yeah, and they were like, and they apparently they didn't even use it. They just used it to farm herbs. Like they had plenty of money to buy it, and I was like,
anything that's third
wow.
party,
And?
So it wasn't
Yeah.
even for anything glorious.
No, I was just like,
I think
wow,
he's
you're
saying
fucking
like, wow,
retarded.
you lost your account over something.
Yeah, it's like
Good.
you had fucking 500K and you're gonna use a bot to run around to pick up herbs because you don't want to power level alchemy. That's just fucking special.
Yeah, I think
You
it's.
know what I got to say? See you, bye-bye.
No, it just makes me
But,
laugh because
see-
I felt bad for the first round of people because okay, maybe some of these guys didn't understand really what it meant. So there was a big, huge, all these things, and then the people that got caught up in the second one, you guys are just you're really dumb. I don't have any other.
When I've experienced it in Battlegrounds, when I've experienced it in dungeons, and and there's videos out there where the one guy standing there, 9 other players on his team are running back and forth between 2 flags in Eye of the Storm, and 10 other players on the other side are running back and forth between 2. Nope, any cheating is cheating. See ya, bye-bye, have fun.
It's
I-
funny because even I got accused of it this week as well. Some random in gold share is like, hey, you're using Honor Buddy. I'm going to make sure you're banned. And I was even typing to him at the time. I'm like, yes, because I am a robot, and robots say things like, go fuck yourself. And then other people like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not using Honor Buddy. And I'm like, do you even know what an Honor Buddy is? Like, go and ban yourself.
It's not your mom. Okay, that
You're
was funny.
stupid. You're stupid. It should get you banned. But we'll come back to that story in a little while.
I think it's just hysterical that everybody was really shocked and surprised the first time, and then there was the fact that there was even a wave to even happen the second time is fucking beyond me. That people are just not that bright. So yeah,
It goes to show they're going to keep on top of it, though.
I want to be in the appeals.
Keep doing it.
I want to be on the appeals team because every appeal that I get, I want to turn around and start repeating like the original Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory when Willy Wonka flips out on the kid for cheating. Yeah, I just want to just start flipping. No, goodbye. You're done. You've lost. You know.
Good day, sir. I said good day. Yeah. So and listen, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Really, I feel very strongly about
really
certain
cheap
things.
right now, so you can buy a second
Buy another account and quit crying about it. Stop using things that you're not supposed to be using. Stop using things that are questionable. If you don't know, ask a GM because they'll tell you. They're not going to ban you for asking a fucking question, but please, just stop. It sucks for you guys. I hate that you guys are even. Common sense isn't always so common. So if you are one of the people that got banned recently and you're very upset and you dislike this video, I don't really know what to tell you, but I love you as a person. I just don't like your actions. How about that? That was very motherly of me, right?
Buy a new account. You know what? I heard Honor Buddy had an update.
It's so bad. Man, it's so bad. Oh, yes, guild challenges for dungeons and raids. Now, this is something that I think always should have been a thing. A lot of people were upset about it. It didn't upset me because I thought that it was always the case. I didn't know that the older stuff counted. So you only get credit for current content. So if you're in a current dungeon with your guild or you're in a current raid with your guild, then you only get credit for that. Now, they did offset the gold that you would be making for the guild by allowing mythic dungeons to count, and you get 50% of the normal. I think it's $250 per guild run for dungeons, so it'd be $500, and then I think it's $1,000 for raid, so that would make it $2,000. I think said 50%. So I don't know if this affects a lot of people in a lot of ways, but it shouldn't. I mean, it's not that serious. Just do current stuff.
Well, sometimes whenever you have 3 or 4 people leveling in a guild, if it's a leveling guild, it's not a raiding guild, it's not anything, it's just a casual, group of friends that don't even have a raid team together. If they don't go and run heroic dungeons, say they just want to level, a couple of tunes together, and they have 3 of them.
That's okay though, because you have 7 days to do the completion challenge each week.
Yeah,
so,
and you don't have to do heroic,
right?
You
could just do normal dungeon.
What I'm saying is, if you're level 20 and you're running dungeons with 3 people, which would be enough to make it a guild run. Yeah, so it's not
counting then.
So now it's not counting. And
but if you're a guild only of those low levels, then I don't know what kind of guild you are.
Well, let me ask you this too. Right? The big question is,
if it's 3 people leveling together.
Are they going to allow the holiday events to count? Because before, we used to run all 7 Headless Horsemen.
I don't know.
And they would all count. All 7
It just said dungeons
included.
and raids for current content, and I'm assuming that the holiday bosses isn't current content.
Well,
Well,
it's
the
current
boss
level.
itself
Technically.
the boss itself might be current, but the instance is an
older one.
So
Gotcha.
But since they've opened it up to Mythic Dungeons, I think it's good. I think that's okay because a lot of people are doing that shit, and a lot of guilds specifically. Our guild does them all the time, so I think it's going to be okay. And the fact that they're making it more gold, I mean that's a big deal. 50% added onto that's I don't know why I was thinking 100%. It wouldn't be 500. That was pretty stupid of me. I was thinking of my math now. Don't judge me. So yeah, 50% of the gold, and you can no longer do old content. Boom. How many times can I say old and gold in one sentence? Literally,
A
it's
couple more times.
mind-boggling.
I got 4 then, but
I love
Watched the little video preview for the new Boomkin models, and they're pretty legit, very in-depth, nice and sharp edges, really super detailed. I dug all the different colors. So they showed all the different, because I guess you get a different Boomkin color for similar to the bear form, right? Of the bear and cat form.
I think it's races.
Yeah. So also the bear form was released for the troll, worgen, I wrote Wogan, awkward, and the Tauren model's pretty legit. Looks pretty slick. I think they're doing a good job with the models. It's about time they got an update and maybe put some fucking ruse on the bear. I don't really...
not this again.
I'm just saying, bear ass in your face is just...
Who's gonna go and change it once it takes a crap? You? No.
Well, if you're an adult bear, shouldn't you be potty trained?
No, because let's face it, if you're wearing diapers, you just get lazy and be like, well, I may as well.
I'm not a fan of diaper rash, so I mean...
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
But the question
why not
remains: does the bear shit in the woods?
I haven't found the emote for shit, so I can't.
Wearing a diaper, you can shit anywhere, not just...
No, I do think WoW should put in an emote for pooping. I think you should be able to poop on somebody.
I mean, you have the outhouse now.
No, but I think you should be able to do
yeah.
/poop and just so-and-so shits on you. Like, I guess, I don't know if that's inappropriate, but I feel like...
I feel like that'd be very inappropriate.
I feel like it's okay to be different. No? Also, Lycan did bring it to our attention, and I think some of you also commented on the video that there is no Ronda Rousey. Some news site reported it. I don't know who the fuck did it. I just know we wanted to talk about it. It was talked about in the community all over the place. That's the happenings on that. So, okay, it was a mistake. My bad. Just kidding.
Kotaku's the one that first came out with it, and let me tell you, they are known for jumping the gun on things like that, not verifying their sources. I mean, a news organization of that caliber should have some access to Blizzard PR.
Well, and we normally don't ever talk about something that hasn't been confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people were talking about it that I
all
think
over the place.
I think we just kind of fell in. We were kind of hat tricked on that one.
Really, I think what happened is that they found this Ronda Cox after Ronda Rousey lost that last fight, and they're like, "Oh shit, no, we can't have
Well,
her
who
in
is
the
she?
image."
Who's the Rhonda Cox person? I
She's
just
an
really wanted to
employee.
say Cox.
Yeah, let's say she's an employee.
Ronda Cox is an employee
I
with.
was trying to see how many times we could say Cox in one sentence without it being awkward or weird.
She's on the sound design team.
Oh, okay.
And,
Good on you, Rhonda. You get a Cox in game. Awesome.
But Miss Cox does do what is that? So that whatever type of that Sansu Kung
Please don't
Fu.
be friends with us and your last name be Cox because I can't be professional at this point.
I was surprised that I mean, it's neat to see that they take employees like Miss Cox and put her
I agree.
out there, and it's pretty
Congratulations, Cox.
Yeah.
You've
I
earned it.
applaud the Cox. Let's
tell
applaud
Mr.
the
Cox.
Cox.
cool.
Yay!
Mr. Cox, we're proud of you.
Love the Cox.
You do. Me too. It's like we're the same.
I like the way the Cox wiggles back and forth.
What the fuck? Now
Yeah,
that's
when
so...
you see the animation for it, that's dead on too.
I think her husband's name's Richard, and he's a little chubby.
Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be... Did you say he's a little stubby? Some guys have that problem. They can't help
He's a
it.
little chubby. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
fun.
Hey, look, it's a Christmas special, all right, everyone.
Is it the Christmas
Talk to
special? I
everyone.
didn't know.
It's-
I should have worn... I don't have anything Christmassy to wear.
Aren't you wearing a
Well,
Christmas
yeah,
shirt?
luckily I have one for
I'm
you.
wearing
It's
this I
about
got from
right
Luke.
size.
It looks Christmassy, but it's not. I got it from...
Oh, thanks.
It's a-
I didn't.
It's a little elf.
Oh, I didn't say what month it was Loot Crate. I just want you to know that every month now,
Okay.
Loot Crate's going to have a t-shirt in, so you might as well just get used to me wearing the shit on Mondays.
Being that you haven't gotten Loot Crate for over a year now, I'm sure that's probably the December Loot Crate one that I haven't seen yet, but thanks. Ruined it.
Why do we have
I'm
this same
probably gonna-
discussion on the show every month?
Well,
Mrs. Lycan standing right here, by the way. I am not getting my Loot Crate. We can just send it back.
you're going to want what's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, you're going to want what's in it. It was a great Loot Crate. And now that Loot Crate's gone on the record and said every box is going to have a wearable, hello, hi, can I please fucking give you my money? Okay. It's time to get serious now.
Oh, here we go. Shit. What podcast is this?
I
Well, the
know,
greater
just
good.
kidding. We're just fucking kidding. We don't know how to be serious.
For the greater good.
What was I don't even remember. There was something I wanted to talk about before we got into the PvP preview shit, but I guess we can get into that and then
Hold on.
we'll do our week.
Let me check the show notes.
You want me to? Okay, so since you guys are going to call me out via chat and via the show now about the show notes, so guys, if you're listening at home and you're watching at home, let me tell you a little story. About a little busy worker bee named Belle. Every week, Belle would work really, really hard to put the show notes out. I would put the show notes out by Wednesday or Thursday each week when we would record on Saturdays. So these guys would have the show notes. Do you know what would happen during pre-show when we would record that week? Hey, you got the show notes? That's fucking weird. I gave you guys the show notes days ago, which means nobody ever looked at them. So then this little busy worker bee named Belle said, I guess it's not that serious. They watch the news just like I do. I shouldn't need to tell them what happens during the week in World of Warcraft. So no, Belle doesn't give her other little busy worker bees any show
notes. What I
notes.
didn't see in this week's World of Warcraft news? What's in this month's Loot Crate? Don't even need to read it now. Job's done.
So,
Drop mic.
yeah, that's the thing.
Enough of that this week.
So, yeah, they're trying to make me feel bad, but really, they didn't care about that because they all watch the news just as much as I do. Really, the show notes is just a guide for me to remember the shit we have to talk about. But, yeah, when I worked really, really hard to do the show notes and then every show recording, hey, do you have the show notes? Well, what have you been looking at for the last 3 days? Because it isn't my notes. So, yeah, I don't feel slighted, though, because you want to know why? I love you guys so much. It physically hurts me.
Cheers.
Like, it burns when I pee. That's how much I love you.
You should go see Dr. Cox.
Right.
Percival Ulysses Cox.
Carl T. Phineas is my name, ladies and gents. Make sure you write that down because I've officially changed my name legally to Carl T. Phineas. So if you're looking for Belle, you're not going to find her. You're going to just have to say Carl. Moving on. Legion PvP preview. Huge in-depth situation regarding that specifically. So I'm going to give you guys some of the highlights, and then I'm going to pull up the rest of the stuff that we need for that. So, let me see how it's summarized. Okay. Honor and Conquest are no longer currencies. This is as of Legion. This is the preview that they've released. Honor points instead increase your honor level. As you increase your honor, you'll get gold, artifact power, and honor talents. Honor talents are an additional set of talents that are active when players are in PvP instances and combat. In PvP content, you'll get a predetermined set of stats for your specialization. Your set bonuses, enchants, legendary bonuses, and trinkets will be deactivated. Gear can still improve your character in PvP, but as an example, 25 item level difference will still result in a 2.5% difference, not a 25% difference. There are no specific PvP stats or fluctuating item levels in Legion. You can still earn some gear through PvP, and Wowhead has data mined many different PvP items such as the Vindictive PvP gear and some other shit. End of season PvP rewards will be awarded separately to the top percentages of the players in each faction, not overall player base. Prestige levels reach honor level 50, which grants access to high level PvP talents, or you can turn in your honor level to gain a prestige level for rewards, the titles, artifacts, appearance, pets, mounts, and your little badges for when you prestige. Your little nameplate badge will give a differentiation of how many times you've, rolled your honor, prestige, or how, I don't know what it's going to be called. I can only think of how they do it normally in the first-person shooter games. Some of the possible data mine rewards that Wowhead has picked up could possibly include the prestigious Warwolf and the prestigious Warsteed. Looks like the same fucking PvP mounts we get every season. Fucking hooray for being indifferent and not changing anything cool. The titles: Patron of War, Bound by Honor, Legendary, the Unrelenting. I would love that. The Prestigious and the Honorable. I gotta say, these titles are pretty fucking slick. Like, I like that they're going into a different direction than the typical sergeant knight. You know, all that normal shit that you normally get. I'd like to see them kind of branching out a little bit in their...
Those are RBG specific titles, so I could see why they would want to branch out with this.
So for the Prestige, here's what they said about that to help people understand that. Once you've reached honor level 50, you'll have a top choice. You'll be given the option to Prestige, which will restart your honor back to 1, and once again will be restricting access to any of the higher level honor talents. In return, you'll increase your Prestige level, which grants access to a number of other rewards, including a badge based off your Prestige level. It does appear on the scoreboards for the battlegrounds and arenas, so other people will have this distinguished when they're looking in the community section on World of Warcraft as well, which most of the shit we do in-game is because we want what? Hots?
Acknowledgement.
We want acknowledgement, and we want it publicly, and we demand it now.
And PvP gets it.
A title which will be based on your prestige level, a wearable faction pennant, a different appearance for your artifact, and then the unique mount or pet. So they have the talent calculators. This whole going through this is kind of blowing my mind. Because they're basically redesigning PvP as a whole. Originally, when I first started reading through this, I read through this yesterday, and I kind of had a small panic attack. I'm like, fuck, there goes the game. All the PvPers are going to leave. However, this is the natural instinct when things are changed. It freaks people out, and I'm not the only one that has these reactions when you're emotional about something that you live for. However, going through this, which I encourage you guys, if you haven't, make sure you read not only the World of Warcraft version of the Legion preview. We also covered this on the PDQ. Rickett broke it down in a little bit simpler terms to help people that might not be so, word fancy, able to understand. All they're doing is making it like all the other things in the world PvP-wise. Yes, it's a little sad because it's not distinguished from other games anymore. We've kind of put it in line with a lot of these other online shits that we're doing. Call of Duties and stuff like that, where, essentially that's what we're doing. We're not distinguishing gear anymore. There's a lot of things that are happening that's kind of taking away what it's always been, but there's a but. I like the direction they're going because they're 150% focused on PvP. And I think it's going to bring a different gaming experience to people. It's going to give you something to do after the fact, because right now, what do? People get glad. Great, you're the top of the fucking king of the world. Where do you go from there? There's really nowhere to go in between season to season. There's nothing to push for. There's nothing to do. There's no distinguisher between all your top guys have the same talents, the same glyphs, the same trinkets. They're all built the same. There's no identifiers to make people any different and to thwart there being so much commonality in the community. So what's the skill level here? Everybody has the same of all the things. There's nothing different. So although scary, my take on it is I feel like they're moving in a more robust direction to give people more options to really push forward. And those of you that don't want to push forward, fuck it, you don't have to. You just go in there and do your little battlegrounds and be happy about it.
So I kept my mouth shut for the majority of that, only for one reason. What really frustrates me is people have done one thing about it, is the game takes a lot of time. If you're going to dedicate to be both a writer and a PvPer, that is a lot of time you need to put in to get the gear. Because not only are you going to get the gear for your PvP or your PvE shit, which is a whole different level, not better or worse, but it's just a different aspect of it. But when you go PvE, you still have to balance out what tier pieces you're going to use compared to what other pieces you're going to use to get the better stats, and there's a whole level of things going on there. And I can tell you, for example, it is very hard to try to get 2 sets of PvE gear and a PvP set of gear and try to compete in all 3. Because sometimes I was tanking DPS and then over PvP before I get kicked off the RBG team. So I like how I threw that in. She didn't even pay attention. So, but my basic concern is that people are complaining about that there's no gear for PvP. That's what people have been complaining about for all this time. Make the PvP system a little bit better. Instead of just running out and getting the stock gear, now they're giving you more of an opportunity to do with your gear what you want to do, what you've been wanting to do all this time. You're able to go out. I could go my PvE section and PvE route and get my gear. I can also use said gear to go PvP and vice versa. Those who have been PvPing that want to step in a raid, that don't want to go out and farm for 3-4 weeks to get the amount of gear they need to get into these higher level raids, are now able to transition over to a PvE side of it. And I think the way they've restructured everything, I think once the panic settles down, people are going to go, this shit rocks. You know, I've done a lot of in-depth look at it. I like the way it's done. I like the idea of the gear system. I like the way that you can go both routes.
I agree with you. However, getting the gear is a rite of passage. Now, I'm not saying I'm for or against it, right? But every PvP season, us PvPers, boom, fucking day one, we're in, we're capping every week. My RBG leader's in my ear, make sure everybody's capping. Getting your gear is a rite of passage. That's what makes World of Warcraft PvP, World of Warcraft PvP. I'm not arguing against this. I think the new PvP system is going to be amazing. However, and yes, now we're given something else to focus on, because now you can focus on your honor level and your prestige level. They gave us, in essence, they didn't do anything. They just swapped what our focus is. So I totally get what you're saying about the gear, but I'm going to miss, that's part of my, like, I enjoy that you have to have gear for that.
And I agree with you on that, but my thing is, I can see from my aspect, I'm in a unique case. I have the time that I can actually go in and put the time in to get a whole blood spec for me, a whole frost spec, and turn around and get a PvP spec for frost and blood, because there's a lot of times that I need to switch over when I was on my DK, depending on if I was flag carrying or not.
Over there. He's like,
I know, but I
game,
have
coach.
the time to do 4 sets of gear. I can do that. I don't know how somebody could sit down and do or somebody who does not have that amount of time that likes to do both aspects be able to handle it.
Sorry that you don't have the time for it, but that's what an MMO is. Sorry. I know that you work and you have a job and you have kids, so do I. Like, I get it, but sorry, it is what it is. We're shaping the game now for people that don't have time. Is that? No, and I'm not arguing. Keep in mind, I like the idea of this, but what we're doing now, we're making it easy for those that have a solid hour in game to do. We're going to punish those of us who do have a little bit more time, or make it work because we game late after the kids have gone to bed. Like, that's what we're doing here.
It's the complete opposite of what you're talking about right now, because
oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
You
better have read to know what you're talking about right now, because I will call you out.
I'm talking about. Okay, so whenever you go from PvE world to PvP world, right now, if I go in there wearing full mythic gear, there's a 10 item level difference if I don't have it upgraded from PvP to PvE, right? So if I go to a PvP situation in full PvE gear,
they scale your item level down.
They scale that down, and PvP gear goes up.
Right.
Okay, so PvP gear is guaranteed once you cap. Cool. Understand, you worked for it, you earned it, good job. I earned my mythic gear. Okay, cool. It's 2 different worlds, I understand, we're cool. But the fact that they're removing that, there's still a rite of passage, and it's with these talent points. Because you have to earn all that honor to get all the talents unlocked and work your way all the way through it. So while I'm over here in my little PvE world and I'm getting really nice gear and woohoo and all that cool stuff, you're unlocking talents that I don't have options to until I go grind.
That's why I said I totally agree.
So you still have your rite of passage, but it's no longer going to be... If I outskill another boomkin,
I gotta farm for these talents. I gotta go get my gear cap. I gotta cap for my talents. That doesn't sound as hardcore as I gotta cap for my gear. I'm sorry.
Well, it's PvP supposed to be strictly skill based, anyways. It's not supposed to be gear based.
No, I agree.
I'm happy that they're finally removing that barrier of where I go in against
nostalgia. I'm going to miss having to cap each week for my gear. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean.
I'm saying I'm going to miss it. Yes, I do like the direction they're going in. I do.
Yeah,
back in my day when we played vanilla, we had to run everywhere.
I like that direction. Do Do I agree that we should cater to those that don't have the time? Here's the thing: I'm offending a lot of people here, and I shouldn't offend anybody, because if you don't have the time, you already shouldn't be offended because you don't have the time. There's days when I can't play because I have children. I'm not crying because I didn't get raid gear because I didn't have time. I just simply don't, and I can't, and I'm not. Do I want you to change the entire face of World of Warcraft for those that don't have time for it? Well, why the fuck are you gaming in the meantime? I don't understand what the problem is here. People don't change for stuff that I need.
With that theory, then I guess I'll just go and cancel my subs.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, make time.
Because that's essentially what you're saying, is if you don't have time, you're playing the wrong game.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why are we changing the game? Because that was your argument. Your argument is we're changing the game for people that don't have time. Well, what the fuck are we doing here then? What are we doing here?
Because Bloke hit the nail on the head right there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He hit the nail on the head because when you're in a position, and this is why we don't get invited to Blizzard dinners.
But you're condoning that we change it for people who don't care?
When your sub base is at a point where you won't even release numbers anymore, you have to fix it somehow.
Because they're banning people.
But no, seriously, though, he hit the nail. Should I just cancel my sub because I don't have the time to put it in it, so I might as well just not play.
That's not what I'm saying. You're suggesting we change the entire face of World of Warcraft for those that don't. That's what was being suggested. That's why I got defensive. We suggested that, right?
The game's been changing to cater for casuals since the day it was installed. That's why you get things like looking for raid and looking for group.
But I think that stuff's awesome.
To cut down and save time.
I think that's awesome.
So there's no way it should be any different in terms of PvP.
The only reason I got defensive is because it was implied that we should change the face of World of Warcraft for those that don't have time. So
no, but you're talking in a PvP
when you
aspect.
say those things, man.
The only reason that I've been able to cap out my conquest.
Cop out, gotcha.
Fuck, man. I'm trying to keep my potty mouth in check for this one. The only reason I've been able to cap out for the last 2 weeks is because I haven't been going to work. Like, if I want all the gear and all the conquest gear, I have to put in those kinds of hours, and I can't do that on top of raiding and stuff.
I just wanted to know if I sounded like Frysa, because I totally am just fucking with everybody. I just wanted to make sure Frysa was covered, because everything I said would be something Frysa said. I totally
the amount of time that needs to be dedicated. It doesn't change the fact that, like Ken said, I
agree.
They're losing people all over the place.
I totally agree.
If they don't take some drastic measures and make it more accessible to a bigger portion of the
if people want to be able to do the hard work because they have time, then they get the extra honor points and they get all that stuff. I agree with you.
That's a double-edged sword, because then you have people like me who have all the time in the world to do whatever the fuck I want to.
Well, then you're going to be amazing because you get all the perks, which is cool.
Well, I mean, you can present and all that stuff. That's cool, but how far are you willing to go? Because PvE, you have to put in like 2 or 3 hours.
Be serious about it, but those that don't have the time
LFR.
already not to be serious about it because they know that they can't. They get what they want.
People that can dedicate 24 hours, 7 days a week make up such a small portion of the player base. So it's a lot harder to cater to
how big is the player base?
I totally 150% agree with all things that are happening,
double-edged sword there,
including the gear. Because the gear I hate doing, getting capped every week. I just wanted to play Frysa because this was a PvP section and he wasn't on, and everything I just said would have been exactly what Frysa said, except I would have had a red face, my eyes would have been bulging out of my head, and I would have been up like this because he would have a fucking full-on meltdown.
And you had me going at the control like this.
And I was really trying to hold it, and I was trying to think of other stuff that he would say. I totally think it's awesome. I really do. I think as long as they continue to make it a challenge for those that want to challenge themselves, and they're not just giving shit away to people that are. I think that if they keep it balanced. Yeah, I agree. I want them to keep a balance, give extra to those who are really pushing themselves, outside of that box, but make it a little bit more attainable for those who don't have the time necessarily to do that. That was the best fucking troll ever. Can I get a
know what?
No, not really.
All of a sudden, they play jokes on me all the time, and all of a sudden I troll, and it's...
No, I'm not even going to get into it while we're on a podcast.
But they don't even know the difference. When your sarcasm is so fucking on point, you don't even know if you're trolling anymore. I love you, Lycan. I love you so much. It hurts my...
I'm looking through some of these talents for Boomkin, the PvP ones, and that's fucking...
Oh,
Let's
I
give me
looked.
some game changers.
Yeah, the talent
Right, and
calculator's pretty legit.
especially when you start getting in those higher end ones, and you got the guys that are going to put the time in, that are going to sit there and spend the ones. I mean, you got idiots over in Asia that are dropping dead after playing for 48 hours straight.
That poor guy.
You know,
He didn't
these
even
are
beat
the
him.
right. And these are the guys though that you're going to look at, going, okay, if I want to
Those
perform
are-
at that level, then I
See?
have to put the time into it.
Right there.
Those are
If they changed
Oh.
the game and made it a little bit more accessible, he would have only had to sit there for 24 hours and not 48, and he'd still be fucking alive.
That's the motherfuckers that are
And you know-
making me lose fucking server first titles because they want to be
You know what? I'm sorry, Legion doesn't have server first titles.
That's right.
no fucking shit. I know, and that's the reason why.
It's a tough crowd
Because
tonight. Listen,
people fucking grind
for those of you at home who are freaking out about this PvP thing, if you're a serious PvPer, don't freak out. Just give Blizzard the time to do what they need to do to work that shit out. Don't freak out. Once this stuff is in beta, people have had a chance to look at this. They give all the famous PvP streamers beta, so don't worry. They'll have a hand in changing and shaping the PvP situation, so you don't have to worry about, stuff.
I hope they don't use Swifty's hand because it'll be missing a pinky.
Oh, that's bad for business. We can't do that anymore. Remember? God damn it, Cody. Hots. What the fuck is your name?
It's true though. It was a funny because of the pinky.
That was a really bad joke, guys, and
This is why we don't.
This
this is why we don't get invited to parties, because people don't love us.
I've met him. I shook his hand. It's an okay guy.
I was waiting for it.
God damn it. It's like I'm being baited. Also, what I forgot to mention, shorter PvP seasons, so you get your rewards more frequently. I think that's cool. I mean, we sit months and months and months in one season, and sometimes it gets monotonous, so I think that's good. Also, the 2 new arenas, Val'Sharah and Ravencourt. Did I say Val'Sharah? Did I say that right?
You said Val'Sharah really good.
So they were talking about some of the stuff that I read, like Val'Sharah, when you first get entered into the arena, you're like rooted. Like they're doing some cool things to your tunes when you first enter certain stuff. They're making additions. I'm not really sure what that means or if that was even real. I mean, it was on the website, so I'm assuming it was real. But I'm excited for 2 new arenas, and I thought I heard word of 2 new battlegrounds as well. I think that's needed. What? Why are we saying no?
No new battlegrounds.
No battlegrounds.
No new battlegrounds. I see some.
None that have been announced thus far.
Well, the 2 new arenas are happening. Those were announced.
They want to fix something. They need to bring back the old Grand.
No, but I think it's good that they're. I don't think they're trying to fix. I think they're adding. It's about time they add new maps. How many gladiators, raise your hand, who know all the fucking maps left and right, and it's no longer a challenge for
Put
them
your
to
hand
figure
down.
out how to use them? I'm just saying, I mean, I don't arena, but I'm saying, all you glads in the audience, gladiators don't listen to us. No, seriously.
All 2 of them.
I know. No, it's.
Bring back old school Grand Arena with friggin' pillars and fire and all types of shit.
That changed with you or changed on you? Yeah, that feels amazing.
I do think that there should be some environmental situations that inhibit your gameplay or are obstacles for you. I think that would be pretty cool.
I want to see it like Mortal Kombat. So when you finish, you can mad keyboard mash and rip fucking heads off.
I do think that would be
get
pretty
out of my arena.
I'm gonna take Blizzard's stuff here with PvP, and I'm gonna go on faith that they know what they're doing. But keep in mind, Blizzard's Activision. They're the guys that invented this shit when it comes to player versus player. Literally, they invented it. Do I want it to be like the console games? No. But would I like it to be challenging? Yeah. Do I want it to change and be different? I think you have to evolve. I think that's the only way that you get better, and you step yourself. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Blizzard stepping outside of their box, all that they know when it comes to World of Warcraft. I don't want it to be different because then it wouldn't be WoW, but I think improvements are needed from time to time. And Blizzard, if they fuck it up, they'll fix it. They'll change it back.
I'm just happy they're finally splitting PvP and PvE. Now my abilities don't have to get nerfed to where it affects me in a raid because some boomkin over there is fucking 3-shotting people. It's the changes between it. So the way they're handling it now.
I was just gonna say
hopefully,
gerbil because I felt like you were just gonna say.
I was not gonna say gerbil whatsoever. But now that they're gonna the way they're handling it now, with the new talent systems, it should get some good differentiation.
Huh?
Differentiation.
I'm not the only one that can't speak.
Yeah, I can't English now.
Hold on.
Look, you're rubbing off on me.
What was
The
that
new
word?
talents. The
What
new
did you call
talents,
it though?
differentials. Yeah, I'm can't
Differentiate?
differentiate that one.
That still wasn't it. I
You
love
still
it.
didn't even say it right.
I don't give a shit.
Differentiate.
Differentiate.
Differentiate. You sound like you're from. Oh, now I see. Now your Southern's coming on you. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I can't even. I can't even. Also,
I'm getting frustrated.
before we move on, now that I got everybody's goat, and for the listeners at home, I really hope you knew I was just being Frysa for that moment, because you guys should know me better than that to know I wouldn't give two shits about that. Okay. Last week we talked about Bloke's poor headset. I want you to know that we still are accepting donations for his headset. We've gotten Stone donated a large chunk of money. Heather Bink, I believe, donated. Somebody else donated $5. I can't remember what your name is. Please don't judge me. I'll make sure that I announce it officially once we get his headset. I was going to order it last week, but he's in Australia and it's a little bit more expensive, so we don't quite have the money to get him the headset that he's going to need moving forward, because we're going to step away from Razer because Razer blows. But
As you can see,
just that specific model, Kraken's.
I couldn't hear you. What?
I'm pretty sure that you don't use your mic because your mic sucks. That's why you bought a new one. So
think
you're
that's
over
my
there
computer.
pumping up Razers.
That's my computer
mine
because
works
it doesn't.
far too well.
That has to be my computer.
The regular
Those parts.
Krakens are not made very well. They're great sound quality and mic quality, but the parts are not made they're not built for tough. And that just is in general. So we are still accepting donations. Go to twitch.tv/Ponecast and click the Teen Taco and Cake Fund to donate if you want to give $1. Give $2 for a bloke in need, because this guy needs a fucking headset, and I can't announce
Seriously,
it.
it's funny you should say that, because that's why I had to take the hat off, because I'm like getting the world's biggest
Are
headache
you
right
sure
now.
I can't talk about stuff now? I can't this episode? That's not allowed? Can I maybe get a reprieve from the governor to maybe...
There was... No.
Are you sure?
We got something special in mind.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
Look, like I said, there's very specific reasons why I'm the poster child for poverty at the moment, which is why I'm not buying a new headset. And we'll get into that next week. Is when we can talk about all
Feel
those
free
sorts
to
of
tweet
things.
to him and at the Ponecast on Twitter and guess what you think his life situations might be. I could, because he doesn't have a fucking job. I mean, because who just quits their job, right? Because no normal person with the sane brain quits their job 3 days before Christmas. Who does that?
Even then, if you're gonna take a crack at why things are happening, I have a crack at why I would have quit my job too, because I'll give $1 million to anyone that figures that out.
I mean,
Except
I know
for
why you quit.
Snippety, because she knows full well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait. Huh? There's two?
What?
Wait.
No.
Oh,
that's
not you saying that. That's somebody else. I got excited for a second. Okay. Sorry, I got not
This
excited.
will all make sense next week, folks.
Okay, yeah, I promise.
Playing at home, you can come
what's
back
in the loot
next
crate
week.
box.
Well, it could be.
I'm not telling anybody else what's in the rest of the loot crate, because Lycan yelled at me.
Ruin it for me.
Okay, so I also wanted to do a special shout out to my friend David. My friend David was originally my brother Dominic's friend. I hijacked, if you will, my friend David. He's also my raid leader. He sent me this beautiful Warlock shirt, which I wanted to wear tonight, but I didn't because I'm going to see Star Wars. But on the box that he shipped that to me, he drew a Chaos Bolt and addressed it to my actual tune, because Belle isn't my tune. Belle's saying, well, it is now. But I thought that was pretty cool, that somebody who loves you, knows your addiction, shares that addiction, then sends you WoW stuff in real life. I wanted to highlight that because that was pretty freaking awesome. Moving on. Weeks in WoW. Lycan, I know you've had quite the week in WoW with your little Pwn Heals person.
Yeah, got him up to level 64, 65.
Are you leveling as a healer or red?
Oh, yeah. Straight healer. I actually found out DPS as a Holy Paladin at that level is so overpowered. It is absolutely ridiculous. I just built up. I use that Word of Glory as an attack now, and the amount of damage I can put out it's ridiculous. But I have been leveling as a healer completely, and I don't like it. I don't understand the whole hands thing. I don't know. I don't like touching people. So, and I don't know the age of some of these people that I'm playing with, so I don't like the whole, lay of hands this, hand that.
For sure.
For me, I remember
you got to ID
as,
first. That's the rule.
Right.
And then you need to double check that ID. You need to get a fucking scanner because shady.
Well, you need to make a macro. Is everyone in this instance 18 or above?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I've ever healed as was my priest, and that was back when you had flash heal, and
that was
heal.
back when Moses
and that's all you needed to know.
Was in the basket, right?
Hmm?
That was back when Moses was in the basket? No?
No.
It was around then.
He doesn't appreciate my humor. He's like, I'm so sick of this bitch already.
Gone for 2 weeks, and it doesn't seem long enough.
It was terrible. We didn't know what to do last week. The three of us were like, how the fuck are we supposed to even do this? Can we just not?
I have to people.
Yeah, it was awful. The whole weight of the world was on us last week. I don't know if we pulled it off, but did you see who was in your box, Lycan? Did you watch?
I have not watched.
Bob was in your box. I was trying to do something funny for your box, so I put the no-armed stick figure in your box. This is Bob. Bob has no arms. Knock, knock. Who is it? It isn't Bob.
I'm going to have to watch it tonight. I really haven't had an opportunity to even catch up on last week's show. It's been just so busy. I have Tuesday nights that I stream now and Thursday nights because somebody's being a slacker and told me I had to do both nights, and I wasn't allowed to back off. Hots. So I'm streaming both nights now. Actually, too, kind of self-plug here. Tomorrow night on stream on Twitch if this is up by tomorrow morning, but if not, every Tuesday night, 9 to 12 Eastern, and Thursday night, 9 to 12 Eastern. Tuesday nights, we've been kind of doing all lore shit. And actually brought my co-high, what's his name, Frost Karen. So Frosty's been coming in with us and sitting down and talking lore. Big shout out to him, by the way. He did buy me a Christmas present. He bought me a little KT pet, so I'm all excited and got him into my collection already and up to level 25. It was funny. She goes, "Are you home?" I'm like, "I just got home." She goes, "Well, somebody's logged into your character." I'm going, "Holy stalker!" And all I wanted to do was log in and get my little KT and power level.
I was trolling him because I knew he didn't just walk in the door, but he said it as if, like, I just opened the door and walked in. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Your ass has been in game for like 10 minutes. You're such a liar.
I wanted to get my little pet out. But, yeah, big thank you to him. Big thank you to Grand Vegas. He's been also helping us out on the stream doing lore shit. So if you're busy, or if you're not busy and just want to sit around and bullshit, we have a good time. So.
Is there a stripper pole involved?
Oh, and I wasn't raiding this week because our guildmaster rage quit on us. So.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Never happened.
So last week I was sitting there during an Arkham fight, and we're wiping. And all I hear was, if we wipe one more time, I'm leaving. And I didn't hear the rest of it. So we wiped, and Belle's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Logged out, and we downed Arkham, and she wouldn't even come back to raid. So the following night I felt really awkward because we have a no rage quit rule in our guild, and we strongly enforce that. We do. I actually had a guildie that him and I argued, and it could have just dropped, but he decided to rage quit, log out, and he's no longer able to do it. We've actually got a couple of them.
There's several of them. If you log out, if you rage quit, you don't raid with raiders anymore. It's that simple. If you can't be a fucking adult long enough to suck it up till the end of the raid, you will not raid with me again, ever. That's been our rule since the beginning.
So the whole Iron Man thing, fast forward to last night, I'm sitting there, it's raid time, and David, the same guy that sent the box and then in the shirt, goes, dude, you raiding? I'm like, I can't. He goes, something wrong? I'm like, Belle rage quit, and I can't do it. He goes, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. I said, on Arkham. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, well, she rage quit, and I cannot bring myself to raid again until I talk to her. I said, I really need to have a heart-to-heart with her because if she's going to make me enforce rules about rage quitting, I can't accept her rage quitting and not happening. Here, every time she's in the raid, we don't don Arkham. And she had stepped out, and as soon as she stepped out,
what he didn't know is the week before that he didn't raid, and we tried, and we kept wiping. And I was like, I had to leave for some reason. And they downed it right after I left. They downed him. So it basically became a joke. So what he didn't hear was I said, okay, this is the last pull. If we still can't down him, I'm going to leave the raid so that you guys can get him down. Joking, laughing. He didn't hear that part because what happens is he drinks an entire pot of coffee during raid. So in between pulls, he gets up and he replaces his coffee. Now, nobody else knows that. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't hear what happens in between pulls. So this whole time he sat with this information for an entire week thinking I rage quit. Now, I didn't come back to raid because I had finals. And when he went to invite me back, I'm like, I'd prefer to just sit out just because I need to get my finals done. But I would never, I mean, I would rage quit, but I would never.
I was sick to my stomach when I finally texted you this morning and went,
So
something's been bothering me and I need to talk to you.
and I thought I did something wrong. I was like, fuck, are we going to fight? Because I don't really want to fight today.
I made sure I texted
read that
you.
too, and I was like,
Yep.
It's going
oh
down.
boy.
I actually put it in the wrong chat. Yeah, I ended up putting it in our chat, and I'm going, well, if I do it while I'm out on the road and I'm driving to pick up my son, she can't pick up the phone and call me because I won't answer her, and she won't get a hold of me on Skype, so I think I'm safe now. So as I'm leaving the door, I'm going, I need to talk to you. It's really
That's so
important.
I laughed when he said that. I literally was like, what the fuck? Really? Is that really? Is that a thing? I didn't rage quit, no. But
Real story, come Tuesdays and Thursdays, please. I am so lonely. I'm not the best person in the world, but I'm very entertaining.
So go see him on stream. Give him some loves. Not the weird make you mess love. So please don't be weird.
Mrs. Like it'll be fine with it. We're good.
Please don't be weird in the chat because the shit I've seen.
Mrs. Lycan's fine with it. We're good.
Bloke,
Any attention's good. Good.
I know you have stories. I know things happened. You wanted to talk about stuff.
I've had an interesting week, shall we say. So, as we know, I've been trying to do the Nemesis quests in Ashram. And I'm still stuck on pandas, exactly where I was last week. I've been in Ashram every day for a minimum of 2 hours. I had 36 panda kills last week. How many do I have this week?
-2.
46.
Oh,
I get a
nice.
whole fucking 10 pandas in a week. So I took to Twitter and I asked the devs. I'm like, is there any chance that you could maybe lower the number or nerf it or buff it or do something or allow the kills that you get in Battlegrounds to count or something to sort of speed the process up? Because it's not like, obviously it's relevant to me, but I would imagine that it's across the board. That
It's not like you can go hunt the pandas, right? Even if you were on a PvP server, you can't go hunt down pandas because it doesn't count.
Exactly. So the conversation sort of took off super quick, and there's a whole bunch of people that are pissed at Blizzard because
Did you start a riot on Twitter?
Riot's such a harsh word, but the dev's response was, no, we've got no plans to do that in the future because we don't want to take away from the people that have got the achievement already.
Except for all the other stuff they nerf, which I'm sure.
So that turned the argument into, apparently, now this is unbeknown to me, that when Warlords first dropped and people went straight into Ashran, if you got into a pre-made, you could get 2 pre-mades and literally farm each other at 5 times the rate.
It was amazing.
So that's how everyone's got this achievement. Someone may have pointed out to them, they're like, everything we do in this game is nulled at some point. Meaning that the achievements that you've got earlier are now worthless. In the sense, like, and I used Ice Crown as an example. Like, I got Heroic 25 Arthurs when that was current content. Now, you can take any character, freshly hit 100, go back and clear the place in 20 minutes. Like, the achievement's now worthless. So, to me, their argument's a little bit invalid. But when the kill rates are that bad that you can spend that amount of time, and the amount of people that were on Twitter that agreed with me, in the sense of, like, they weren't necessarily saying, like, drop the numbers or overbuff it or anything like that, but just open it up so the kills you get in Battlegrounds apply. Because I think most of the 10 kills that I got this week came from the same dude in one round of Ashran and killed him like 8 times. It's ridiculous on low population servers.
And do you know how much that would help their Battleground queues?
For sure.
Oh, man.
Even in a world PvP too, I think that'd be cool.
Exactly.
If you could go take charge of your own destiny and go hunt those motherfuckers.
I would say World PvP over Battlegrounds, but
This is why you're not the executive of shit at
that
Blizzard.
That won't
Cats.
help people that are on
Well,
PvP
you can get
servers.
the bones from World PvP, but apparently the kills for the Nemesis quest don't count for World PvP. So that's why I was saying.
I'm
not a PvP server. So
I was.
If I merc out and queue to play for the Horde, now pandas sit on both sides, both factions. So if I'm merking and playing for the Horde and kill pandas that are genuinely playing on the Alliance, doesn't count. So you're wasting your time by playing on the merc team. And they wonder why the queue times for Ashran or like people were getting turned off that place. Like, it's just horrible. But that was the large part of my week. But the other part of my week, and this is the part that I've been super like secretive about because I know a lot of people frown upon this. I kind of got bored, and we had a discussion on the page the other day, and maybe in the podcast a few times recently, about multi-boxing. So I hijacked my son's account and my wife's account, which is a trial account, and had a crack at it to see what the whole deal with is. And I'm loving the look on Belle's face right now because that pretty much sums up her attitude to it. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. It's not an avenue of the game that I've ever tried, and seeing plenty of people whinge and bitch and carry on about it, me being one of them, seeing them on YouTube, whatever else. After trying to, I won't even say do it well, just multi-box in general. Fuck that. It's nowhere near as easy as what you would think. And I say, you know what? I tip my hat thusly to those that do the 30, 40, 50 bajillion accounts. I had 3. And I couldn't even get that shit to work properly. I got to like level 5, and I was like, okay, we're done now.
Yeah, but their setup's different. All one keyboard handles all the accounts. So when you're
that's how mine was set up. Like
it's basically one tune.
I utilized different avenues and got in touch with one multi-boxer in particular and had a bit of a chat to see how things were done and got set up in exactly the same way. If I had access to another 30 accounts, I could do exactly the same thing, but I ain't that stupid, and I certainly ain't paying that kind of money. Which is why, like I said, like I pay for my son's account anyway. My wife's got a guest account. So I had a crack at it with the 3 accounts, and while it's not an avenue that I would play personally, like I can see how it would be addictive, but not at the price. Not at the price that you got to pay for it.
Not at the price of your integrity. I mean.
Well, now see, I don't understand. After playing it, I don't understand why people necessarily have that straight up negative connotation about it. Because you know what? It takes a damn load more skill than what most people think it does.
I could say so much, but I'm going to avoid it because I'm going to piss people off. So it's better that I
go
right I
ahead.
promise you this is a subject it's better that I don't talk about. It's cool for people that do it. It doesn't bother me. I'll still kill all 20 of your fucking tunes. So it doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's where I said that's where I said early in the piece, like my little human mages rolled through gold tier and straight up there's like, oh, you're using autobody. I was like, eat a dick.
There's a lot of people in the community that multi-box and they're large members, and I would choose to not piss them off. But I personally have a distaste for it. But you know,
where you run into the problem in the illegality of it, as according to it, is when you have a one button macro that does all 3 things at the same time.
Which they shouldn't. Hopefully,
which are not. Yeah, you're not. You can't. I mean, you can have one keyboard control all 3 accounts.
Yeah.
But you have to have 3 different. You have to be able to hotkey each one to each different screen.
Yeah.
And where I run into the problem is when you have 30 DKs that come down and they all decide to do outbreak on you and a death strike and you're dead in one hit.
I think
and it's all from hitting
PvE
one
servers
button.
is where it's I would have a problem with it. PvE or a normal server, it wouldn't affect me so much because if I encounter you in a battleground and you can whoop my ass with your 20 fucking tunes.
See, that was the thing. Like I was very well aware of the fact that like I could have made those characters on a PvP server and gone to town and caused trouble and done this and like not necessarily with 3 of them, but using that sort of theory. So I was very selective in sense of I picked a PvE server and just I was only lightly skimming the surface of it, and it was enough for me to say, not my thing. I can see how it would be addictive. I did chuckle, like when you get all of your characters to cast the same spell at the same time and nuke something
You're
in
so
one hit.
easily entertained. I can see you sitting there
You
just
do get a
thinking.
bit of a giggle out of it, but at the same time, like the technicality that goes into just playing, like I don't have that kind of concentration span, so I say good on them.
I
Yeah.
frown upon it being used as a means to terrorize people on a PvP server.
And
That's really where I get.
I'm 100%
I
the
think we
same
had that
boat. Like
discussion before.
even if I had 50 of them, I still wouldn't go and raid a faction town or anything like that. Like I'd just go about my own business.
Yeah,
But,
I was on a PvP server where I was consistently farmed so much to the point that I transferred off that server because I could never level. That's the price you pay. I'm not crying
Yep.
about it. That's the price you pay for being on PvP server. You max out, you go find those assholes that wouldn't let you level, and you kill them.
At
But-
25 Aussie dollars a month per character,
Yeah,
that shit ain't happening.
I see it. I see it happen a lot.
It was nice. It was nice to dabble in it. It was nice to have a look at it and have a better understanding of it. But yeah, no, not for me. So
Everything is
that's
not
quite
efficient.
literally been my whole
Look
week.
at you going in depth and undercover reporting as a multi-boxer. What the fuck? All of a sudden.
Yeah. Wait till next week's episode when you see my adventures in Goat Shit Inn.
Oh.
I'm glad to see you made it back safe. I know that can be a dark area that you go into.
You can't see that I'm.
So
sitting
yeah,
on
no, that's I
a
think
cushion thing.
doing stuff on your own on a PvE server because you don't want to have to rely on somebody. I totally dig it. I could see why it would be useful. I do not condone the actions of certain large members of the community who multi-box and are on PvP servers and use it as a means to torment people because it's people like you that really just shouldn't wake up in the morning. That's where I have an issue with it, which is why I don't talk about it because I've seen it happen and I see them laughing about it on Facebook and sharing it all over the world because they think it's funny to torment people. But other than that, yeah, I can see where, because sometimes I don't want to ask for help because I don't want to rely on somebody. So if I have 10 of my my tune that could go and farm and do.
It'd be great for your grumpus problem.
Yes, for my grumplings that would have been great. But yeah, I don't condone it for other purposes. But yeah, so is that all you did? You just multi-boxed and
Multi-boxed Ashfriend and annoyed Blizzard staff members on Twitter.
why nobody likes us? Because we.
No, but you know what? Like I always do try to be reasonably friendly about it. And even the only person that I was even remotely rude to was the guy that was like, "Oh, you're on a buddy." I'm like, "Oh, really? Like this is where it's at. As soon as you even see three characters."
Please look up what Honor Buddy is. Because that's not what this is.
Go and do some
Google
research.
it, install it really quick, play around with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, see what it's like.
Let us know how that ban works out.
Make sure you turn your firewall off.
But that was my week. It was a good week. I enjoyed it. Secret squirrel missions. It was good fun.
Hots, what did you? I think we already talked about you being accepted into Masters of the Karate, and I know you have
Yeah.
stuff happened today.
I passed my trial. So I'm now 10 out of 13 mythic. Got some good mythic gears going on, and then our DK buddy did get banned. He was the one that was doing the challenge modes and all that, but he did buy a second account and is now leveling a hunter again, and I think we're gonna do challenge modes from that account. So that'll be interesting to see. Other than that, I did level he's the reason I leveled my DK because I talked with my GM and we do need another DK, kind of. Not as much as we need a Boomkin, but so I was like, I've been playing Boomkin since like second week of this expansion. It wouldn't hurt
It's
to
still
kinda,
not any good at it.
I know, and I'm just terrible at it. And I was like, we have 2 Boomkins in our group at the moment. 2 Boomkins is good, it's fine, but whenever you have people, we have a theory crafter that neglects.
Do you even human?
Apparently
Do you
not
English?
today. Apparently not. He completely neglects Boomkin as, like, he doesn't even acknowledge for certain mechanics that Boomkins exist. So, like, AoE, nope, not a Boomkin's job, not at all. It's all this class, and it's all DKs and Warlocks and Shadow Priests. No, not Boomkin at all. No. And I'm like, really? Is this a thing right now? Okay, like, that's fun. So,
Fucking girlfriend. I can't even stand your girlfriend.
what?
She's
I'm so confused. On
can't-
face?
so
On the Book of
much
Face?
even. I can't stand her.
On the Book of Face?
Yeah.
Oh.
She sends me, I found your Halloween costume. It's a fucking giant pink flamingo costume. Fucking hate her. I hate everything about her.
But I did the elixir trick does work really well. I enjoyed it.
Oh, for leveling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
It's really, really good. And the BOAs
Were you
are
leveling
really
on our
nice to have.
server? I had extras. I mean, I don't now, but you could have asked me. That'd been nice.
Yeah, no, I did, but unfortunately I just hit 100 a day. So maybe next time, whenever I go to level something else.
I probably won't give them to you, but I mean.
Ah, you're so greedy.
So, you got him to 100 already?
Mm-hmm.
How do you?
I trained. He was level 9. It was level 90. This is my wrath baby.
Okay.
DK.
So it was already one you had. You just finished it.
Yeah. This is my wrath baby. I made it the very start of wrath. Wasn't my first tune to max level, but I did get it. It was my second during wrath, and I've just kept it ever since.
I'm scrolling a little bit. Bloke, did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did. Now I'm in
your standard military issue.
Look it up and had a bit of a leave Brittany alone moment. And
Okay.
Why doesn't anyone love me anymore?
It was kind of weird. I just noticed that it was all gone.
And I haven't been wearing a Santa hat for like 45 minutes now, and you just noticed. Oh.
I know. I scrolled because I bounced back and forth in between the boxes to see. And Leica, did you take up knitting? Is that knitting material behind you?
It is actually. It is a. Oh,
I was sitting here and just looking at everybody's boxes because I'm nosy as fuck, and I'm like, wait, he got a haircut. He's knitting.
There used to be a basket here, and it kind of fell apart, and I'm sitting here with hot glue and being a perfect housewife. You leave me alone.
The snowman.
Is that a toilet seat cover?
Do you want to build a snowman?
There's a basket that goes in there, and you put candy in it. And shut up.
It's not Halloween.
Gay.
I just knocked boxes over. My wife's gonna kick my ass.
That's too funny.
She is. Yes, she is.
That's Mrs. Lakin. If I could marry all my friends' wives, it would be illegal, I'm sure, but fun.
Well, no, it'd be
Not
legal
Utah.
now.
We had Mrs. Bloke on here last week. Mrs. Lakin on here this week.
I know, it's amazing. Mrs. Hots.
All I gotta say is bitch better have my money.
No, bitch better not have my money. Hots, did you do anything else this week, or was that?
No, that's pretty much the extent of it. Raid and level and gear and mythic dungeons and the capping, the stuff and the things that you're also gonna miss.
You mean the conquest points?
How do you feel that?
Did I do a good Frysa? Can somebody tell me if I did a good Frysa?
No, you didn't. You weren't up in the camera.
I know. I really should have.
You weren't you haven't breathed heavily once this entire
episode. But if
episode.
I would have done all that, you guys would have caught on to my shenanigans. So I was trying to make it genuine.
Well, that would have made it funnier. Now I've been sitting here. I'm like, was she really trying to be Frysa, or was she just like, I've gone too deep.
No,
abort.
It's like when I told you, Hots, I'm trying to dive into the world of provoking reactions. I want to elicit a certain response because it's good for our ratings. So, just kidding. My weekend WoW consisted of doing I got Merrymaker. Okay, 1 down. 3 more to go. I need Flame Warden, Children's Week, and Fool for Love. And I get my Violet Proto Drake. So, what happens is throughout the year, I'll be really hardcore a couple, holiday events in a row, and then I just won't give a fuck. By the time it got to Children's Week last year, I was like, I don't fucking care. I'm not doing any of this shit anymore. And then I got the pep in my step when Brewmaster came along. So I stayed the course and got all that stuff, got all the decorations for my garrison, which you might call me a casual, but I'm pretty happy because I have little tiny gnomes walking around my garrison. I got people with ugly sweaters. I got frickin' Christmas trees and candy canes. My garrison is a winter fucking wonderland, and I love it.
You're not Horde. You're Alliance. Horde have had a winter wonderland forever.
Well, I mean, valid. I do think you should be able to have snow. I think it should snow in your non-Horde garrison. I think if you're Alliance, you should be able to have. I mean, you're outside in your little court. I call it my food court, but I don't really know what it is. Like your little.
That's
fort
pretty
in the
accurate.
middle. I think there should be snow.
For example?
I think also Christmas morning when you log in, you should be able to open a present under your tree in your garrison. I think that would be pretty cool if they.
Or Boxing Day for us for us Aussies.
What I like to do is wrap a bunch of random things, pets, just a bunch of random shits, and I spend a couple days, which I actually need to get started on that, sending them to the guildies, because there's like a 50-person mail cap that you can send mail to. But last year I did half in the evening and the other half in the morning when the 24-hour reset happened. I sent them. Some people got like really, really not important things, but it was cool because you got a present in your.
So basically, she just cleared out all the
Yeah.
shit
All
from
the stuff
guild
they
bank
give me
and
put it in.
sent
Yeah,
it off.
that's accurate. That's pretty
It's
accurate.
not even her. It's not even the guild bank. It's her bank.
But other than that, we made some changes in Guild. We got Discord. We ditched the TeamSpeak, pissed some people off. It is what it is, man. When you're switching and trying to make things happen, we're a very large guild and we're trying to accommodate everybody. And with Discord, you can have open chats better than you can with TeamSpeak.
It's like Skype with
I
a
dig
group
it.
chat.
Yeah, I dig it. It's good for people that are on our Horde side. Our friends. You don't have to be physically in WoW to be able to hang out and talk to the guildies, but.
We even have a breakfast club going.
We do have a breakfast club. We also have the Guild Hungry Games. I've really been doing it up with these Hungry Games. I got another video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow. So the Guild Hungry Games, for those of you who don't know or are not in Riders of Rohan, the Hungry Games is something that we created. We broke our guild up into 5 districts, and I pulled the tributes. I had a reaping video, I was pretty proud of the reaping video because it was the capital intro. I did it real professional. I tried to like emulate President Snow, and then I realized he's a dick, and I didn't want to be like him. So did the reaping, drew the names, called the tributes. Sponsors are going to be sponsoring the districts. Here's how it's going to work out. In a couple weeks, we are going to be taking to Timeless Isle, and the tributes are going to be taking the sensor that makes them targetable, and we're going to be dropping them into Timeless Isle, which has a lot of real-world aggro. There's a lot of things on the island that they're going to have to avoid if they're going to want to survive, which I think makes for a pretty fun game situation. They are going to be dropped in with no weapon, maybe no clothes, maybe just a shirt. I'm not really sure on those specifics. And then our sponsors are going to be able to jump into Timeless Isle and be able to give them weapons, food buffs, other buffs and stuff. It's going to be a real thing. So what's going to happen with this elimination is the last person standing, true to form, they'll be the victor, and they'll get a mount and some gold, and they'll be able to help do videos and host the next month's Hungry Games and have the victor ceremony and all that stuff. I really have put a lot of work into this Hungry Games thing because I thought it was going to be so much fun. A couple of my guild mates kind of shit all over it, and they're like, we're not going to participate because we don't understand it. Maybe you could make the effort. I mean, maybe you could go watch the video. I don't really know. Maybe you could watch a movie. Maybe.
I'm just excited that I'm on the server now.
Yeah, maybe you could go do something and stop making my life miserable. All I'm trying to do is make life fun for my guildmates, and there's always the 1 or 2 people that have to have something to say, and you're like, just kidding. I don't like violence. Yes, they did remind me.
I don't like violence.
I do
Everyone
need to.
mass murders for
We have to wrap this up because we do have to get ready to go do the Star Wars thing.
Spoiler: The Force Awakens.
Like do the cha-cha. I've been watching Star Wars for 2 days, courtesy of Julio, who gave me access to his Plex account, and I've been watching all things Star Wars to reacquaint myself with the Force because it is awakening this evening. No spoilers, I promise. I won't spoil it for anybody. So make sure you shut up. He's giving me his rendition of what happens in Star Wars. So make sure you go to PwnecastDailyQuest.com for all your news and the happenings. We got a lot of good things going on there. Shout out to ex-admin Ella, who is now a graphic artist for PwnecastDailyQuest.com. She does all of our featured image graphics by hand, and she's doing a pretty legit job. Facebook.com/Pwnecast. We have a group of new admins who have really been putting in the work and putting out some excellent content. So I want to give a round of applause. These guys they've outdone themselves, acclimating pretty well to kind of how we are as a group and a culture of the page. And I hope you guys are enjoying that. We've increased the community just with bringing them on. They've done a fantastic job. Aja is at the helm of the Facebook page to allow me to be able to focus on other tasks. So thank you to Aja for that, because that's really awesome. My mailman just arrived with my mail. And, that's pretty much what we have going on in podcast land. We are going to get the hell on out of here because it's Star Wars night. We don't have no rules. It's almost Christmas. Listen, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. If you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate your Kwanzaa, your Hanukkah. Maybe you don't have a holiday. Maybe you just have cats and you just want to love your cats. Happy love your
Saturday.
Catterday. Is that even?
You people. Oh my god. We were doing so well, and I just can't pay that last
Hey,
one.
you got mail. Can I open it to see if there's money in it?
Me?
Yeah, it's a card. Can I open it?
It's a card?
Yeah, I think there's money in here. It sounds like money.
How the fuck did...
I'm pretty
Open
sure
up.
it's from
Open
your
up.
grandma. Can I open
Show
it?
everybody.
My
Yes.
grandmother?
Can I open it live on the...
Yes.
Okay, I'm opening it.
Hold on.
You're
No,
violating.
no.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I love her. Is Nancy your grandma?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
look
what's
at,
it say?
it's just a, it's what I think is a child. Oh, there's no money.
It's an angel.
Oh,
Listen,
Is there a
this
personal
surprising.
message?
happy holidays and best wishes. Love you so much. Can't wait to see you, Nina and Papa.
Oh.
Nana.
I call my great grandma Nana. So, and then there's she called him
That
a
was
hoe.
fucking beautiful, man.
Look it, she called him a hoe. She called him a hoe.
You'd be like, bitch, you my hoe.
Hold on, is this?
That's right.
You're backwards. There you go.
That's back.
No,
that's
that's
fucked up.
Oh
backwards.
God,
Oh wow.
Try it again.
no, there's tons of these little ho-ho-hos in there. Now that we've just, and there's,
I'm glad she opened that because I would have
this
went
is
all over
either
my room.
weed or poinsettias. I'm not really sure what this is.
Probably weed.
Probably Swede.
Well, they're old, so it's probably weed.
It's for the glaucoma. Don't judge.
Nana and Papa, we love you. This is the best card ever. You can come get it now.
Yeah.
We're
I'll
gonna
grab
go
it
ahead.
after the show.
We're gonna go ahead and get on out of there. That was a pretty fun thing. Also, your Bank of America statements in here. Also,
Yes!
Oh, did he max it
Show
out?
me I'm broke.
can I feel like I want to open that too. Oh, sad. Just we're gonna get on out of here officially because we've derailed and it's no longer about World of Warcraft, folks. It's about whatever the fuck we got going on. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for spending your hour with us. I don't know why I do it every week, but we love you all. It's the same. Whoever I offended this evening in my rants, gotta love you.
Well, I did the list.
I love you. You love me. We love each other equally. So we're out of here.
That sounded like something out of Barney.
I almost broke into song, but I didn't. And I have a Dwight's face up. He's over here at the top of my stairs because we're gonna go see Star Wars. And he's just like, oh, don't.